I'm having this meeting to talk about your interest in a tribe. I understand there are not tribes in county, but I'm going to explain one big fear I have about this tribe upcoming. My biggest fear that I have is that all of you in this call right now, except for Tiny Twig, have a main account that is not a native. And while I understand like this is something you might want to do in your free time as fun or something like that, I'm not looking for I'm going to be a native in my free time for fun. I'm looking for devoted native members. Now, I've seen the way some of you look and I've seen the way some of you have been RPing, and after we go through these rules, you might not want to be a native anymore. So that's something you need to think about as your personal self and something you need to think about if you can achieve or not achieve. So my biggest concern right now are for um, Bob, Santa, and Clive all being a business owner on an opposite boot. I'm not saying sell your businesses. I'm just saying I'm concerned about how you're going to distribute your time. That's all. Santa more specifically, especially since he has two businesses. Bob, since he likes to work every single job in county, which obviously you can't do all. I know.
So Bob, Clive, and Santa get called out for being too busy on their other boots. And I've got two businesses that I own. But I really run the horse stables right now by myself, and I was planning to drop it so that I could go full native and just have a gunsmith on the side for, fun and socialization. The other thing would be that Raven right here on Bunny White, her other pair of boots, Raven Black, has access to gunsmith, to marshal, to doctor, and she owns a stable. So that's four major occupations.
We have a lot of time, but stretching yourself too thin in RP can become an issue. So just keep that in mind. So tribal rules is what we're going to go over. We're going to talk about them. Okay. So basically, your tribe is expected to remain active and portray a Native American tribe. So what I'm going to say right now is if your character is white, you got to change it. Sorry, but in the 1800s, a completely white native person is very, very rare. There eventually down the line were a couple of mixed, but it's not an authentic native tribe member. So I know Raven on her tribal boot, she went in. I will 100% give you guys a free token. You can change the color of your skin if you need to, but just keep that in mind. So you're expected to remain native. And then with tribes come responsibilities of two shops. Those two shops are the shaman shop and the native shop. Um, so you need at least 15, you can have at least 15 members in a tribe. That's the max. The minimum is at least five. So you need five for you to start. Everybody needs at least 72 hours of playtime. I think everybody here is pretty good with that. I'll have to check, but one or two of you, but I know that majority of you are good. Each tribe can only have one or two shamans, a shaman and its apprentice. So, like, whoever you're picking as your shaman is kind of like the doctor of your group. They can actually get involved in the doctor's office as well. The chief of the tribe was responsible for making the tickets to add or remove players to the tribe, similar to a gang. So they would make the tickets, say if somebody's leaving your tribe or somebody's joining your tribe. Um, General rules. This is kind of the more important stuff. That was kind of like if you're requiring to make a tribe. This one, at no point in time should tribes or gangs formulate war between each other, so you can't have interactions with gangs. Um, no stereotypes or mockery. Your portrays must be you must portray tribes with dignity. So we're not here to be like stereotypical or like racial in any form, way, shape, or form. Like you want to make sure that you're remaining pretty like, you know, authentic and not being like to be completely blunt racist. Um,
I literally saw the natives in Blackwater yesterday talking to the outcast in plain daylight, plain day sight. Like, yeah, they totally talk to the gangs.
Research your role, learn the basic history and culture context of the tribe that you're representing. I've been in plenty of counties where the tribes are so authentic. Like, for example, Keaton in a county that we were in was a tribal member, and I had no fucking clue that that tribal member was Keaton. I knew who Keaton was on another pair of boots. I did not know that the tribal member that I met was Keaton. Could never tell. Whereas I was at a fast travel the other day and I heard two tribal members here talking and I knew exactly who you were. Your voices sound exactly the same to your native characters.
Barbie is mistaken here. She heard me and a non-native talking, and the reason why I was talking to the non-native is because my chief sent me to go pick up gardening tools and bring them back to the tribe. So I went over to Armadillo to get some gardening tools real quick and to come back because I didn't think a bunch of people would be there and I wouldn't be seen. I was trying to be covert and stealth. And what ends up happening, I'm being chased by Aaron. Aaron found me. Wants to ask me some questions.
Yeah. Do you happen to know how fishing for the boat?
That's Barbie right there. So she just showed up and just ran into us by chance, just randomly. But this is not a native. I am a native, and I'm staying in character by trying to talk to somebody who might be a member of another native tribe.
Yes.
You ever done it with a net? So,
I'm told that fishing with a boat, you can go out in the depths of the water.
I try to pause my words so that I sound more native.
Probably like Saint Denis or Ansburg. Cast your net and then put a timer for about 6 minutes.
Right here, I'm getting really nervous and I want to peel the fuck out.
And then once
Immediately, I vacate just like any native would, and I stayed in character the whole time.
So, like, to your normal character. So, like, for example, Angus's character sounded exactly like Angus, and Santa's character sounded exactly like Santa, even though it's a completely different boot. If you've ever come in contact with Josephine, Josephine's doctor talks normal, Josephine's martial boot talks different. So, like, you would never be able to tell that Josephine's martial boot is her other martial. So, like, it's really about being authentic to your character that you're portraying.
So basically, we have to be professional actors or we can't be a native.
Want to remain realistic in areas of location, tribes should be able to utilize their land for survival. That means that you do not belong in towns. I should not see you walking around Blackwater. I should not see you, like, hanging out in Blackwater. I shouldn't see you hanging out in Valentine. Like,
This is 1899, and natives and settlers were constantly at war. There's 5, maybe 6 or 7 different wars that occurred during this time period, from the 1700s all the way into the 1900s.
the only reason you should go out of your town is for one specific thing, and then you get out. And that's one thing that I loved about the counties that I've been in, is that the tribes were never, ever, ever in main towns. They were always in the mountains, they were always in the fields, they were always in Wapiti. Like, they were never, ever in a main town.
I brush up on something like that real quick.
Please do, yes.
Because these rules weren't really thought about, they were just copied from forgotten trails and pasted over to our county. Some of these rules, we're discussing and we're learning about, and I'd like to, negotiate, but I'm being told basically during this meeting where we're called to talk about the rules and talk about joining the natives and all the requirements, that this is how it is and it's not up for discussion.
Within reason, I say. Obviously, you want to go to towns, you want to mingle with people occasionally. You're a tribe. I think it's cool to show off that, but within reason. Don't be randomly hanging out in towns. Like, be porch standing or like being like a marshal in town. Like, if you have to go to a town for a reason, obviously, like, there is stuff that is going to be available, only access in towns that you may have to go to a town for, but still keep it, within. Try to, like, minimize that. No, don't always be, shouldn't be a native seen in town more than not,
For the most part, the scene should be happening, like, in your area. Because, like, gangs are within the towns is where gangs... Santa, can you mute your mic because I hear myself through it very faintly.
Shouldn't hear. I want to apologize for this part because what's happening is Discord is the only application that still picks up my microphone even when it's muted. And somehow the playback that I hear and not the actual voice recording is played through the microphone. I haven't figured out why, but I have figured out it's a real thing and I'm trying to get it fixed.
Anything, it should be muted.
Then just mute your mic.
Like in Discord at the bottom. Just thank you. Okay. It's not loud, but I hear it like whispering. It's kind of throwing me off PH. So you want to remain in those realistic areas of location. Failure to successfully portray a native member will result in a warning or potential removal from the tribe. So if at any point, you are not following any of these rules, if you break your character, if I'm like in Wapiti talking to you and then all of a sudden your voice changes, like you're not being authentic to your tribe. I know sometimes Keaton is on his Asian boot and he changes his voice and I always tell him, well, you just broke my immersion. But like he's not in a tribe. These are like specific rules to the fact that you're in a tribe, so you want to make sure that you're remaining in that character at all times. You don't want people to know who you are. You want your names to be native. You want your names to be unique.
At this point, the game crashed, so I don't want to show you all the Discord chat, but we can still hear the conversation from the meeting.
You want like Screeching Beaver. Like I will never forget the name Screeching Beaver from FT. Like I will always remember Screeching Beaver because I met him in a random field and he gave me a spliff and I thought it was the coolest fucking thing I've ever experienced in RP. That I, as a cowboy, bump into an Indian, Native American in a field and he's teaching me about spliffs and remaining in character. Like I genuinely thought that guy was Native American. I don't know what he is in real life, but it's like Tiny Twig. Tiny Twig, you do an awesome job. You are purely authentic. Like you are somebody who I love to talk to. Your voice, like the way you portray it, even though you probably don't even talk like that in real life, like your character is locked in, and that's the kind of shit I like to see.
I think
So,
these
like,
are
if
nice
you're
features
gonna-
for people
Yeah,
to be
Tiny,
able
what
to
do you
like.
I'll just be like, thank you. Hello.
say? See, oh my god, you sound so different.
So like the voice
would've never
features
guessed.
is something that like shouldn't be a requirement, but it should be like a welcome feature when people can do it. But not everybody can hide their voice or use a voice changing program, etc. It's just like
I'm hearing you.
I'm going to point out right now that I normally
But I'm not.
stay in character more than the rest of the tribe. Everybody sounds the same as they do on their other pair of boots. I was the only one that I noticed that was actually breaking up the grammar and trying to portray a native to the best of my ability, but I was kind of cut up for it. Like, here's me.
felt disturbance in force. Knew you were close by. Come running.
Hello.
Hello. Is that you, Chief Running Wolf?
This is. Need to get you guys some guns.
Fire stick good.
What type of guns do you want?
So I really don't know why I was told that I didn't sound native, and I don't know why everybody was praised.
Allowing it, then you can't be a native.
Well, I'm just
Because
saying,
you've already-
like, Eaglebeak was totally, like, you could tell whose voice he was.
And the thing was, I wasn't even trying to talk about myself not being in character. I was trying to say it shouldn't be a demand for everybody, because not everybody's going to be able to participate at that level of acting. Because that is exactly what we are doing when we are role-playing. We are trying to act. But no one is here to be a professional actor. We're here to have a good time.
New Snuggle, you could
And
tell
I-
whose voice
and
it was.
tribes-
Your
and
chief
and I
here,
hear- and I
anybody can
hear-
tell what voice he is.
And that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying this, Santa. So Chief here is gonna have to change his voice too. And the thing is like you've already built your life as a character So people are going to recognize your voice. So it's your job that if you want to be in a tribe, to hide that voice. I can make a voice. Keaton can make a voice. It's just the matter of if you want to and you want to RP that good enough and you
I
want
mean,
to live
I've
that
been
life.
using a voice, but everybody's going to know what I sound like because I have a lot of time invested in county.
Well, if you sound how you're talking now, yes, I'm going to know it's you, but you need to authentize your voice to a native tribe member.
I can definitely do one if I try. So.
Yeah.
I actually was doing it on this boot. I made this boot a while ago. It's like,
Like,
966, and I actually was doing it, and I like stopped for some reason. I'll start doing it again.
And like I hear what you're saying about Eagle Beak and Moose Knuckle or whatever. First off, those names awesome. I don't know what any of your names are. Hopefully they're good. But like those names awesome, like very authentic. Screeching Beaver, awesome. Like I very much so did not have people in charge of tribes then. We didn't have we were freshly new. It had been like maybe a month or two, not even, of the server being up, and they just wanted to get in the tribe so people could see that that was something, that was a gov choice that we made to put a couple of tribal members out there so people could see that that's something they could do. That tribe was never to remain. That's why those bows and stuff like that should have never happened. I was not in charge of that. It was a very rushed, half-assed project, and rules weren't even made. So that's why your ticket has been open for so long, because I had to sit down and go through and make all these rules with Keaton, because it was very time-consuming. So that tribe, and I'm putting quotation marks around the word tribe, was never really a tribe.
I've never been trying to sound like Santa. As we've been rolling around, I've always said like how and chief. And the one thing that we've been doing wrong would probably be that we've been saying white man take everything, which you want us to quit, correct? Like, let's just go ahead and put that out
No,
there. You
I
want
mean
us to
it's
stop
fine
that.
if you say white man. No, I
Okay.
don't care about that. That's fine. Don't
just
say
like-
it all the time, but like you white man.
So I just want to give you another example of how I was staying in character.
Yo, excuse me, sir. Can you take me to the black market or no?
What black market?
Yeah, can you take me to the black market?
If chief says okay,
Yeah, definitely.
Who's chief?
chief, running wolf.
Yes.
Chief, man asked about black market. Magic stick? Nope, no idea.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know where that is, unfortunately.
There's 40. Let's see that.
No, it's fine.
Yo, any of you got water to spare? Yeah, do you guys have
So like as you can see, I was trying.
White man take like you. It's very simple. Like yes, it's gonna sound like my voice, but I'm not gonna talk like this. Like
Well, like I
white
called
men take
Raven White
everything
Lady,
from
but I said she
Screeching
had
Beaver.
Indian name.
Like they normally talk like it. Like it's very. I know it sounds stereotypical, but they tend to talk in third person.
I'm
For,
third tongue?
Right,
Yeah, like,
yeah. I
they'll-
have
they'll-
Indian
they'll-
heritage, I know.
okay, so then you should be able to make your voice try to sound like this if you want to pursue this.
Well, I mean,
all.
like, my voice
I'm
is going to
Santa.
be
I have
what
a lot
it
of shit to
is,
get through.
but I could
But I'm
be
letting
like
you know that if it's okay.
the
I'm
grand.
So this is the part where I'm trying to defend myself to state my case because Barbie has never seen me RP, and the only way she's going to know if I'm doing a good job is if I tell her what I've been doing. Because she just called me out and said that I'm not doing a good job, and this is a meeting where we're supposed to have a discussion about the tribe and, you know, the requirements. But I am literally getting silenced instead of being able to defend myself, and I'm being told to go take it to a ticket because this is a matter she doesn't want to discuss. And because it's a matter she doesn't want to discuss, I don't want to open the ticket and be yelled at in an environment where nobody can see what's happening to me. It's not fair to just go and get yelled at. I'm not going to open a ticket to go through what I'm going through right here, right now, privately behind closed doors where it could get even worse. I would rather stay around my friends and my brothers and feel a little bit more comfortable talking in public. It's not like I'm committing a crime. It's not like I'm exposing information. We're just trying to have a calm discussion. Why does it got to be taken to ticket land? And if I had been given the time of day, I very easily could have remedied this problem, but it's like for whatever reason, from start to finish, I've been grilled, and I don't know why.
Sorry, I'm reading it.
And the phonetics is
I need to move on. Holy shit. Failure to do that will result in the removal from the tribe, plain blank. So, like, I mean, if you're breaking your character, you can be given a warning. Like, after so many warnings, you're going to be asked to move, or your chief might remove you. So now, something that is very, very important. All tribe members must use native weapons while on tribal lands. So, if you are on tribal lands, you should never pull a gun out. Only native native weapons on tribal lands. Okay, and I know you're probably like, there's not that many native weapons right now. We're working on it. I'm working on it. It's on my to-do list because the tribe is coming in. And then guns should never be used in tribal lands. Only the following weapons can be used and should be refrained from being equipped until the time of usage. I don't want to see a bunch of natives running around shooting. Like,
So she doesn't want to see a bunch of natives running around shooting. But if you look up the facts, this time period, 1899, that we're in, we've had the Tecumseh's Confederacy that happened in 1810 when Indians got access to muskets. The Seminole Wars during 1817 to 1815, where natives used guerrilla tactics in swamps with firearms. The Dakota War in 1862, where there was a widespread amount of rifle use by natives. The Red Clouds War in 1866 to 68, where the Sioux resistance with firearms. Little Bighorn, that should be a really, really big one that everyone should know. Little Bighorn, 1876. Lakota and the Cheyenne used repeaters versus Custer. And I mean, we're talking about going into 1899. Natives had access to rifles, pistols, arrows, bows. They were fighting to be on par with Americans, the white man. They were trying to use just as much force as the white man. Now, a lot of times they had, like, not as good of a firearm a couple, years back. But most of the weapons right now are totally available to natives because they were produced in like 1855 or earlier. So we've had a couple generations for natives to build up weapons and get into rifles and pistols, but this isn't brought up for discussion because this isn't a meeting about a discussion. This is an announcement where we can't talk back. And this is kind of where I'm getting frustrated because I know my history and I don't know why I'm being told otherwise. And I'm also not being allowed to interject. I'm not allowed to defend myself. And this is the same thing that would happen in a ticket. If I had any kind of retort or I wanted to bring up, evidence and facts, it would be too much. I would be accused of, putting paragraphs where people only want sentences. And I can't work under those kind of conditions, which is, again, why I try to stay out of tickets and stay within the reach of my friends' eyes and ears.
It should be like kind of like Keaton was saying, like a last resort type thing. But like if you're fighting another tribe on lands, you should not be using guns at that point. And then the only guns that you can get are Springfield or Bolt action rifles or any form of repeater. And another thing that I'm going to ask you is that we are not utilizing Santa's gunsmith as like a what's it called? Can't how do I say it?
What, like
an
no way.
advantage.
Yeah, I get it.
Because like you have somebody on an opposite boot with a gunsmith. Like I'm gonna be completely honest, and I'm not saying this to like piss you off. I actually have to ask my owners if he's even allowed to be a part of it. Because like it's that's the equivalent of like a gang member getting another pair of boots and owning a gunsmith on it. We wouldn't allow that. So I have to double check on.
I hate to point this out too, but the Carcano rifle was invented in 1890 and it's 1899, so it's almost a full decade or a generation natives should probably have access, at least like the higher tier natives should have access to more than just Springfields and bolt actions, especially if they're going to be fighting with people that have more than Springfields and bolt actions, because we're not looking to handicap ourselves. We're looking to have a fair firefight with equally skilled, county members or friends. There's nothing fair about going in underarmed and underpowered against people that are balanced.
So sorry to interrupt, but I mean, would martial boot kind of be the same thing? I mean, you guys even made like a rule about like you can't be both boots. So I mean, I think it'd be like an equal thing. So do I have to put my martial boot?
That's another question. Thank you so much. I can double check for you. Can you write that down so we don't forget? Thank you. Tribe
Yeah,
members are
I'll
not
write it
allowed
down.
to-
I'm gonna be honest. It's my eyes. That's fair. It's as much as it sucks,
I think
especially.
But I also think like tribal members aren't doing robberies, so it's not like you're breaking that many rules. So it might be waived. You know what I mean?
True.
Like
I mean,
the reason with the gig is because they're being corrupt and they're transferring the loot, but like tribal members will never see that loot. So it's very interesting to think of. I'll get back to you. Tribal members are not allowed to participate in any form of robbery. No banks, no forts, no nothing like that. Territory and land upon creation of your tribe, the including area of land settlement locations will be public information for all. So there'll be a channel, it'll be a tribe picture, you and your tribe. That land is your specific land. It'll be known that I'm assuming you guys want PD, so that would be your tribe's land. And then obviously this is like information not just for you guys but for all to announce when you're entering a tribe's land. Use email to raise your hands, use your voice to make your presence known, and make sure that your weapons are put away when entering tribal lands. Again, that's for the civilians to read. Like, they should know, like, hey, if I'm entering a tribal land, my weapons need to be unequipped, away, and my hands go up. If an area is marked as sacred, like the sacred waters of the do not enter or disturb it without marking and permission. Hunting should never happen in claimed tribal lands, and make sure when you're hunting in other lands, you don't overhunt closely hunting areas. Obviously, this is a game. It's not realistic that you're gonna overhunt in an area, but for the purpose of RP, and like, let's say that you meet some random white man who wants to learn about tribe life. White man then comes with Screeching Beaver, and White Man and Screeching Beaver go hunting. I then explain to White Man that we do not overhunt because the land is beautiful and animals are wonderful and they need time to reproduce and create more animals, so we don't want to kill all the livestock in said area. You know what I mean? So like, it's just the purpose of RP for that. Any questions so far?
Yeah, I have another question.
Sure
so,
thing, Pat.
we're not really allowed to go to cities, is what I'm hearing, right? It's kind of like a heavy RP situation there. So I was thinking, like, could you add like a boat area over here in general, so like we can have our full experience, as well as like, do you think we could get like a job or like get the ability not to be robbed unless there's a bank down here? Because like, you don't want us to go to towns, but we can't access any of our money for the most part.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, that would be a core reason. I mean, you would access the bank closest to you. You know what I mean? Like, it would be like, that's like one reason why you would have to go into town. Oh, I must make trip to town to put money into bank. You know, like, white man control bank. You know, like, it could be very interesting, long.
I found this very restrictive and very racist, because historically, this is kind of what Indians were pissed off about, having their rights and their land access stolen or limited, not being able to go anywhere that they could actually, live and survive, being told to eat grass when they couldn't find animals to hunt because the white man had hunted them all and taken the land. Natives were pissed. Natives wanted to take back their land. They weren't just sitting quietly and dying out peacefully. Eventually, they went to war with the white man, which is why I was extremely offended that we were being told we were going to portray a Native American tribe that's going to have limited access to county and be desolate in this one area designated for natives, and nothing else was ours because everything had basically been taken, and that's what we were going to portray and role play out, which, like I said, that seemed kind of unfair, racist, and I wanted to discuss it, but it doesn't really feel like this was a conversation where discussions were allowed to occur. This was more of an announcement. Barbie had prepared a script, a whole essay of all of these, rules that we were going to go over, and she's filing down through her list to get through her paper, but we can't really interject, and we don't have access to this list to make notes. But if we're not allowed to discuss in the moment, it makes it really hard. Like, I didn't come here thinking that I was going to have to take spark notes on every little thing and then come in at the end and try to answer. And further, when I do try to start, defending myself and answering a couple of these, questions or trying to have a discussion, reasonable, logical one, I just get shut down. And it just wasn't giving me the warm, fuzzy feelings. It felt more like somebody had a prerogative outside of welcoming the new native tribe. Maybe they wanted to lessen or cut people out of the tribe that they didn't want there. I didn't understand why this conversation was so heated when it was supposed to be a warm, welcoming, announcement and meeting where we could all sit down as friends and have a calm discussion. But this really just turned into all of us sitting and listening to Barbie barking orders at us and trying to keep us in line. I mean, I literally felt like I was not a person. I was more like a dog being told to sit down and shut up.
Beautiful RP. It has beautiful, there's so much to it. I've always wanted to do the tribe life, but I just don't have time. Any other questions in regards to that?
Hi, Bobby. I just want to let you know, I did quit my marshal job, so this is going to be my main boot. So I am going
Yes.
to delete the other one. I am removing the other one.
Oh,
Thank
yes,
you,
yes.
Sue.
I know you
Yeah.
did quit. I did see that. Thank you.
Okay, cool.
What's the name of this boot for you?
It's Rafael Quintero, but I'm planning to change it to Running Wolf.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
just to clarify what I was trying to state earlier, there's a difference between grammar, phonetics, the way things sound. Those are two different things. I can't change the way my voice sounds, but I do actively change the grammar, the way that I speak. Is that what you're looking for? Because that's something that I've already been doing. But I don't have a way to change my voice to make it sound more than it already is.
I mean, you need to put in a little bit of effort to change the way your voice sounds, just a little bit. If you go deeper, if you go higher, if you go more monotone, if you speak slower, you have to try to change.
I can sing
not
like
just
an Indian, but that's about it.
Break up your voice, break up your dialogue.
Yeah.
I
Speak less.
talk Tiny Twigkin says when you're native, I usually spoke in phrases normally. I'm not
Well,
having
that's
full-blown
not the voice. That is the grammar, and which is, I've already said, I do change.
And that's fine, but respectfully, Santa, you do change, but you've already broken. Because I was at a fast travel, and you were literally talking like Santa on your native. Perfectly fine, full-blown sentences, not talking in the
The
grammar.
fishing part
That's
where
fine,
Aaron
good.
asked me for help was a very...
I don't know. I'm not getting into this.
She literally just said that she does know and said that I sounded like Santa on my native boot. But that's not true, because as I showed you guys earlier, she didn't encounter two natives at the travel post. She encountered me as a native on Spirit Stick, and she encountered me being chased all the way to the travel post by Aaron Welch, who was wearing a headdress, who looked like a member of another native tribe. Here, for your eyes, I will show you what I'm talking about one more time.
I got a quick question. If you don't mind. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Do you happen to know how fishing from a boat?
Yes.
You ever done it with a net? So
I'm told that fishing with a boat you can go out in the depths of the water, probably like Saint Denis or Ansburg, cast your net, and then put a timer for about 6 minutes. And then once
Holy shit. I'm sorry if I sound like I'm coming off strong. It is just I've wasted so much of your time
I
because
feel
I
like
had a
you're just
family
stressed. You got woken up and
No, I wasn't woken up. I had a family emergency and
Oh, I'm
I wasn't
sorry.
sleeping. No, it's fine. And now it's like we're fixating on questions and it's getting too long when I have 7 other people here who want to hear the rest of these rules.
We literally just spent 28 minutes listening, and then we had an opportunity to ask questions. But these are not the questions that we're supposed to ask, so there's not enough time.
When this is something that he can handle one-on-one. That's my thing right now. Tribe versus tribe, trespassing with no RP and no RP reason is forbidden. So if there's another tribe that comes into the future, you cannot go on their land for no reason. They cannot go on your land for no reason. If you are found in the other tribe's land for no RP reason, you will receive a tribe strikes. Tribe strikes are going to be a thing, 3 tribe strikes, and your tribe is done. Territorial disputes require RP escalation. You cannot randomly declare war. You must build tension over time for invalid characteristics between you and said other tribe. Any form of alliance and truce must be role-played. So if you want to make a truce with another tribe, you need to RP that out and make that truce. That should be tribes. Allow time for other tribes to recover from battles to get back on their feet. So once you go into war, if you completely do something to a tribe, give them some time to get their stuff back together. Give them some time to regather themselves. Give them some time to gain back just their confidence. Because when you lose a serious scene, that shit sucks. Everybody knows that sucks. It's kind of like a crappy feeling, and you need some time just to get yourself back on your feet. I don't want it to be like the game RP where they run it back, and it's just constant reports on each other.
It's just been really bad. I understand what you're
100%.
saying.
Yeah, it's been really bad. Tribe shop. So this is the kind of part where you guys have something to work for. Each tribe is 100% always given a shaman shop. It's very similar to a doctor shop. Shamans will have.
So I'm going to point out right here where we have something to work for. We're a working force. Okay.
The ability to heal and create traditional native healing remedies. So, unlike using a syringe, there might be an item that I create customly. And if you guys have any ideas, feel free to suggest them in suggestions.
Probably just herbs.
Yeah, herbs, natural remedies and stuff like that for us to implement and use. So that way, it's not like a shot, it's not a syringe, it's more natural and herbal and native. So that will be things that you guys can sell in your shop, and that will be things that the shamans can use. So instead of you guys chewing cocaine gum, you'll have your own item that is created for native people to be used, which is more authentic. And then you have the ability to purchase a native shop with the encounter you're out of money. These shops include native furniture, items, food, and weapons. So this shop is what's going to allow you to make bows and teepees and all of that native weaponry and all of that stuff that can be sold in that one shop. Yeah.
I have a complicated question. I'll ask you one more.
Okay. The tribe chief would be the owner of the shop, while the other tribe members would then be responsible for the upkeep. So obviously that means that Running Wolf would purchase the shop, just like any business. Santa would purchase his gunsmith, Bob would purchase the general store, and then they hire the members to help keep the business going. All native people are working to keep this business flowing, and then that means any native oriented furniture will be removed from the carpenter shop, and that means that people can only get these special weapons or these special items from literally your native shop. There's no other area they can get them.
Apply on demand, baby.
So, like, this is our main thing about being natives, the weapon shop. This is where we shine. Like, this is the pull that we're going to have. This is the reason that people are going to come and visit us. This is what natives do. But,
Bobby, I just want to find out something, right? So I spoke to Chip about something. We got to like a little agreement that we think it would be better if like natives could only customize the bows, not the gunsmiths itself.
Okay, yeah, we can make that happen.
Yeah.
I agree
I
with
think
that.
that's just going to be better with RP wise to let people
And
actually
yeah,
come to us to get them done.
100%. If somebody wants a cool bow customized, I totally vouch for that. I'll run
They
that by
should
the
go up
owners.
there, yeah.
Yeah, it gives them a reason to go up there and put their guns away and only have their bows out and their hands up, and it gives you guys something to look forward to too.
so Chip's going to be where people buy the bows from, and then people can take the bows to the natives to have them customized. I could have sworn we weren't really supposed to be communicating with the white man or, going to towns unnecessarily. This kind of feels like us giving away our heritage to the white man so he can make a profit, and that's totally not what the natives were about.
So yeah, we could totally make that happen, and I'll get that approved by the owners, and they should have no problem with that.
I'll just ask it now. I'll see if I can get it out of the way. So I have a general store. Is there a way I could I don't think there is, but could I shift my general store ownership to my other boot, or is that a big no-no? And then just
That's a big
move
no-no
it up?
because tribes are not going to own businesses.
Because I mean, I
Like
could
the
just sell my general store and actually just work on the other boot, but it's a lot of loss.
Yeah,
Like, I
I
mean,
wouldn't. I
most of the people.
personally,
Sorry.
if you feel like you can upkeep both, Bob, I wouldn't sell it because
Well,
you can't get another business on your other boot.
I mean, Barbie, do you know why I have my general store? I don't have.
Wait a minute, what did she just say?
Tribes are not going to own businesses.
Because I mean, I
Like
could
the
just sell my general store and actually just work on the other boot, but it's a lot of loss.
Yeah,
Like, I
I
mean,
wouldn't. I
most of the people.
personally,
Sorry.
if you feel like you can upkeep both, Bob, I wouldn't sell it because
Well,
you can't get another business on your other boot.
I mean, Barbie, do you know why I have my general store?
He can't get another business on his other boot. So his native can't work anywhere except for on native shops. Okay, now I understand.
I don't have it to make money. I have it so I can provide product for the entire server. So the server, every
Yeah.
single business you see, I've probably given them 1K hops. I gave the armadillo business 1,000 hops. I gave Clive 1,000 hops. I really fun.
I'm gonna skip through this because there's no point in listening to Bob talk about his hops.
The general store's for, so I was wondering if I could do
Kind of
that
like
on the
they
native
help
boot.
you out when you go to their store, buy their product, and then resell it at your store.
That's Barbie taking a jab at Bob because he goes out to stores that don't have a lot of people buying from him. That's his defense. And he buys out their products so that they can make money because otherwise he feels people might not visit them to buy the product. So he creates an order for his general store and then stocks his general store from this manufacturer or another general store that maybe isn't doing so good on business. I thought it was a great idea.
I buy product for a lower price so I can sell it to them because they need the product, and a lot of
Gotcha.
different people come to me more than they would come to them for some reason. I don't really
Gotcha.
understand it. Should I just
Yeah.
start recommending them?
No, I mean that's your business. You do you, boo. Anyways,
Okay.
we're getting off topic, but I wouldn't. You can't transfer it because these are the only two businesses that tribal members will own.
Okay,
In the
gotcha.
future, if we ever open another form of a tribal business that can be purchased, that would be the third. But for right now, it's
Okay.
shaman shops and then these native shops in general.
Sorry.
So that would be something that your native people would have to get your funds for. And now it's how do we get that money? You can get that money by doing in-civ jobs. You can get that money by doing farming for other people. You can get, obviously, you can't get that money illegally. You can get that money through crops and shit like that. So you're fine there. I mean, black market, I mean, native people might stumble upon that, crops wise, but like don't get caught whacking. That's all. So yeah, some of the roles: the chief, the war chief, the shaman, the apprentice, the tribesmen and women, and the warriors. So the chief obviously is the leader. War chief is the one who leads most of the scenes and encounters that they have. The shaman is the healer. The apprentice is the person who helps the shaman. Tribesmen and women are basically everybody else, and the warriors are the fighters who are led by said war chief. Okay, so that's kind of like the basics of everything that comes into it. Now I want you guys to think about all of that. This is in the document. It is running in the document. It is also here under tribes now. Right here in tribe rules, it is here. This is just showing you that it's down here. And then tribe roster, that format is going to be pasted here that you can fill out similar to a gang. Tribe chat, you will be able to talk. And then official tribes is where your tribes will be posted. Tribe strikes is where I'll keep track of like your things, and announcements is where announcements will go. Basically, there is a tribe leader role, and then there is tribal members. Something else to keep in mind is gangs are required to sit in VCs when they are in county. If you are in a tribe, you will be given your own VC. So, for example, right now, all these outcasts are in, all these ghost riders and all these desert desperados. And whatever your tribe's name is, you will have a VC down here. And whenever you are in county, you, as your tribe, you don't have to be, if you're like on your native, your main boot, like if Santa's on Santa and Bob's on Bob, you don't have to be in that VC. But when you're on your native boot, you need to be in that VC.
But we're not gang, and I don't know if she said marshals have to be in a VC together or not. I'm gonna assume maybe they do, but we're not a gang, so why do we have to be in VC? We were literally told not to create wars. So I didn't understand this rule at all.
Okay, does that make sense? Does everybody understand that?
I do.
Okay, thank you. So basically, talking time period. What I'm going to do, I'm trying to find your ticket. A second. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this next couple of days to make the weapons and the items and the shaman items to get your shaman set. In those days, I'm going to be looking to see you following these rules. Keaton's going to be watching. Staff is going to be watching. Raven is also a part of your tribe. She is also staff, so she's going to report to me if any of you are lacking. So we're going to be looking to make sure you're following these rules. And if all is good, once I'm done with those items, I will approve your.
So I'm all for this, but the whole time that I was getting cut down about my voice, Raven as staff never stepped in to defend me, to say, oh, I've actually had scenes where Santa, where he actually does stay in character and he talks like a native. That's what her role was supposed to be, to report our actions to the admins. But that's not what happened.
Tribe, and we will get you posted and we will get your things going. So we're looking for a quality RP. We're looking for really emphasis on trying, and then to loop back to what Santa was saying. No, I do not expect you to put on a voice changer. No, I do not expect you to sit there and change your voice completely. I'm expecting you to put an effort in. For example, I have a very high voice. When I talk, people know it's Barbie. They hear my voice, they're like, oh, there's that squeaky bitch. Now, if I was to do tribe, I might lower my voice an octave and I might go, oh.
Unfortunately, I can't talk because I'm muted. I can't respond.
White man hurt me because he stole me land from, I don't fucking know. And that's the thing, I don't know. So that's what it means by research your role. So I might literally go on ChatGPT and look up native authentic phrases that native people say and shit like that. I'm gonna.
She was literally insulting me, saying I don't speak like a native when I was the best speaking native of the group, in my opinion.
Put an effort in to try to change it, to try to make myself be more immersed in my RP. And that's what I mean by that. Nobody's saying you can't sound the same, but I'm saying if you're putting zero.
And I still, now that I think about it in hindsight, Tiny could have spoke up for me, Raven could have spoke up for me, Raph could have spoke up for me, Bob could have spoke up for me, but they didn't. And when I tried to speak up for myself, I got muted. So I don't even know how I'm supposed to defend myself to this accusations during this meeting where we're supposed to have a discussion about natives. It feels more like I'm just accused and I either go along with it or I get muted.
Effort into changing it at all is where there would be an issue. Because obviously, I just sounded very different just by maybe lowering my head a little bit and changing the sound of my voice by moving my head down. It is very possible for everybody to change an octave of their voice. That is a normal human being thing for us to do. So, that is what I mean by trying to change your voice. Obviously, not everybody can do an accent, not everybody can do that. But it's just
I finally got unmuted.
the way, the grammar, the forms, the phrases, and then obviously the tone of your voice. Does that make
All your
sense?
stuff.
What'd you say, Bob?
Makes sense.
It just reminds me of being the Inquirer.
Would you like to see some of
Exactly,
our
and-
scenes?
So if
Maybe
you wanna
after, I don't know.
if you wanna send Angus some of your scenes that you're taking, you're more than welcome to. I will probably request like in a day's time to like watch you guys do a scene or something like that. So if you guys want to start thinking about a scene that you can do as a tribe, please feel free, even if that's just showing a white man around the land.
So the reason that I wanted to show her a scene was because I wanted to clear my name to prove that I had been doing a good job, and that one 10-second excerpt that she caught where I was talking to a non-native person at a travel post wasn't my full character.
Or something like that. It doesn't have to be like a war fight or anything like that. It could just be simple RP as a tribe.
I mean,
I think we can-
George
I think we can
did
reach-
one, but it was kind of scuffed, you know?
Yeah. I think that would be good to like see you guys do. I'm just trying to figure out here. So Chief is running Wolf. Yes, who is
Yes, yes.
War Chief?
So I wasn't sure if there could be an under chief, but if there can't be, there will be a war chief. So at this moment, Clive is war chief then, or Red Hawk, Clive, Red Hawk.
Okay. Where is the part?
I think it's
This,
war chief.
Okay,
What I
I
mean.
forgot to use this. I forgot to say this part. Tribal members must wear native style clothing. Some clothes are not permitted, such as limited spurs, loadouts, cowboy boots, and hats.
Very well, have,
Gun
like,
belts, glasses, and anything that is not realistic Native American article of clothing. And what Keaton likes to
Am I
say,
supposed to
the
drink
less
it?
the better.
On
Like
Spirit
Native people
Journey?
are very simple, simplistic. Like I've seen your outfits. Everybody looks pretty good. You know, they have a lot of cool like animal heads in the shop. There's a lot of clothing that has like fringe on it. Like so, just utilize what's in there. Stay away from anything that has like glass. So like glasses would make sense. Like you wouldn't wear glasses. Cowboy hats and boots and stuff like that. And socks. Clive, you have socks on. The socks gotta go. So just like stuff like that.
Oh.
But just trying to stay native. We will be keeping an eye out. I do appreciate you guys chit chatting with me and being our first tribe. Angus, what is it that you're going to be naming your tribe? Do you know yet, or what?
Mohawk, the Mohawk tribe.
The what?
Mohawk tribe.
Okay,
The Murloc or like Mohawk? Oh my god.
Mohawk.
Oh,
Bro,
Mohawk.
I thought you were
Mohawk.
saying Moog from like fucking.
No, no,
And
no,
you
no, no,
guys,
no, no.
you want Wapiti, yes?
Yeah, I just want to find out.
Bartlett looks pretty nice.
I just want to find out. Can we do like Wapiti in the town itself? Because I saw you guys added a lot of stuff in there. Or do we have to go to the Springs area?
I'm sorry, in the tiny what?
No.
Look, bro. If you look at my,
In the town
this
itself.
is what they want. They want directly in the town. To the fast.
Basically, Barbie, because
They want
Barbie's
what?
cutting out.
They want
They
that?
want.
They
yeah,
want this.
the change.
Why?
They want- This is literally Wapiti. They want this
Where's
it
the,
looks
where's
really
the
good.
waters?
Barb,
Where's the
Barbie.
waters?
down here. There's you would have to build it.
I'll fucking build it.
Oh,
You wanna build
those!
it?
You know, I found those while I was high as shit one
Oh,
night.
that
You
would be
guys don't.
cool.
You guys don't want the traditional waters? Like that's the
Dude,
sacred water.
okay,
Dude,
wait.
I remember. Okay, listen.
The
I went to.
wild.
I went
This
to a
is
try. I
epic.
went.
Sorry,
I went to
let me mute.
Wapiti once in another county, and I went with Screeching Beaver, and I went with my friend, and I walked near the
That's
water,
right.
and they were like, "No, don't touch
Sacred waters. Don't
Sacred
you
water.
touch that shit.
Sacred water, don't touch.
Damn
White
straight.
man,
Sacred
white
asteroid.
woman, stand back." And I'm like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry." and my
Tiny
friend had to
Twig knows
leave on an
about it.
emergency, and he got on his horse and he rode through the sacred water, and they said, "You, Ellie." I said yes, and they're like, "Your friend, where'd he go?" And I'm like, "I don't know." And they're like, they basically held me there until I gave them their piece.
I think it's really strange that we don't have time to discuss concerns and problems of tribe members or, possible candidates that are trying to be tribe members. But we have time to sit here and argue about water and the location that it's in. It seems more like we have time if Barbie wants to talk about it. We don't have time, and we're too short on time if it's not up for discussion.
And told him that they wanted to talk to my friend about the fact that he ran through their sacred water. And I was not allowed to leave until I gave them my friend's PO so they could reach out to him about their sacred water. So it's like, I mean, if you guys want that other one, that's fine, but that's literally just a basic. That can be another version of a camp. Like, so the thing is like, you guys will be given that, but like, me personally, I would make where he is right now your tribal camp. Like, I'll put some TPs up. I think that this is where the crafting should be. I think you can have better RP here. I'll build you guys a camp right where that circle is. See this, that circle
This
right
is
there?
where, so like right here is where
Is
the
where it
Apache
was.
tribes, so like
Yes.
Screeching Beaver, like
That
Barbie.
was where it
I
was
had to
built.
speak. I had to speak to you about a couple. Too, honestly,
I remember
House
that
Rocks.
rock. I remember that rock.
Yeah, House Rocks, like something like this, they would be able to go into it, and it'd be an inventory for all the
Yeah,
tribesmen
so
and
like
stuff. Yeah.
I think like that other area with those teepees that you guys saw, like you could buy one of those teepees as a house. Like that could be like another version of a camp. If your people in your tribe want their own tents, I can see if the owners will let me turn all of those tents into their own like inventory storage for your tribal members. But it's not like right in the area of like your land. Like that, the sacred waters will be one camp, one storage. Everybody has access to it. Your shops are there. The crafting for your guns are there. That's gonna make people go there. So it gives you the RP of don't touch sacred water. And then the other camp can be like where your houses are and like people buy a camp and like little minimal storage in that teepee. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that's a good idea.
Okay.
I'm seeing
I
a lot
can
of
make
it
pushback
look-
from. I think we should put it up to a vote because Santa seems to be having a lot of pushback, and I honestly want the hills next to Tiny's house. That would be a pretty cool spot. No.
I mean, well, that's the thing is you're getting both.
Oh my God, thank you, Bob, for saying that I was getting pushed back. You're the only person during the entire meeting that defended my ass. Thank you.
So I don't know
What?
why
Oh.
we like those
Okay.
things, those tents that are right there would be like things that you guys can buy as like your own little teepee. Like Tiny Twig has his own teepee on, like he has his own house, but like let's say Tiny
Yeah.
Twig owns that teepee right there. Oh, to the right of that, so Tiny Twig would go up to his teepee. He has storage in his teepee, and he has like his own little storage in there. Get out,
And ledger.
get out of there.
So would.
It would just be that, and then like
Oh.
across the way, oh, there's Bob's teepee right there. Like base ground would be near the sacred waters.
Look, you would have a white man to stop on your
Who the heck is that? They're just some
hunted,
random
bro.
guy.
You break rules.
Hell yeah!
Who is that?
Oh,
That's not one
guys.
of you guys?
No,
No.
I love this
Okay,
fucking
exactly.
guy.
Perfect
Nope.
example. There you go. Oh, you're on our sacred not yet. You're not you're on our tribal land. We're the moose what is it? Mohawk tribe.
Mohawk, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like it's your water.
I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Tiny Twig and myself can vouch, bro. In the other county, when we were natives, a lot of people came up to the lands, like a lot more than you would actually expect. It was like a mini
I know.
town at times. I
I
remember
asked
doing
myself,
shit, and there
remember?
was like, yeah, exactly. I remember doing shit, and there was
Oh, it'd
like
be- oh,
15
sorry.
people there.
My bad. Do you know what'd be really cool? If we like moved a legendary animal spawn there and like we hoarded it or something. And we only let certain people have it if like we acknowledge them. It's usually craft something. I don't
So
know.
like I plan to like
They're balling.
put some things up in that area anyway, so like you guys have majority of the stuff that you need. You just gotta give me like 2 to 3 days. Like that's all I need.
Yeah.
And like in those 2 to 3 days, like those days to like oh my god, please tell me I can talk. Oh thank God. In that time, like I'm looking to see your RP as characters. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because like I think that this area is super cool. Like I love this. I love these. Let me see if I can get the actual model number of these TPs. So it looks like these TPs are like authentic to this spot, but that
Okay.
doesn't mean that there's not other TPs.
Yeah.
So Barbie, I know that you can put down because everything in the other county was completely built by Pinkertons. So I know you can. Like, only problem is Barbie with those teepees that you put down, especially in Wapiti area. It's gonna snow and storm a lot, and the teepees will fly up off the ground.
What do you mean?
So
There's a fly up off the ground.
What?
the teepees will fly. As Tiny Twig, they will fly off the ground.
It's hilarious.
Why?
Or if you hit
I
the
don't
car.
know. It's just they told
just, like,
us some
unanchor?
times they cannot fix it. They're like, hey, we don't know why we just put it down. Like they built it or whatnot, but they don't know why. It would like here. Let me show you. It's like let's say I'm the TP and it was set right here, like the chieftain's TP. Any TP that they built, there's no TPs here. They put down every TP. Let's say it's right here. Storm like this is coming across, or after storm, a main storm, so after 5 p.m., you would wake up and like the TP like up here in the air, floating, and they would stay there till the next storm. So,
So we're spending all this time talking about TPs and storms and waters, but we're totally floating over the issues and concerns that the candidates of the tribe had. And those aren't up for discussion because we don't have enough time, but yet we're spending almost 30 minutes on water and TPs.
you have to be wary of that. I don't know if that's
I don't know if that would happen with this because I think that has something to do with the furniture script because everything in that area of your tribe was placed by like a character building it, right?
supposedly.
Yeah,
We got
because like
told.
I remember being told that like it was built by like a character. This
Well, because
building
like,
is like
so they
on
basically put all they did was like put 6 TPs round in a circle,
yeah,
and then the chief
that's
at the
not what
time,
I'm
he with
doing.
furniture just built it all up. Yeah.
Yeah, like mine is different because mine is actually custom creating like an area in the county. So it would be a little different. But I mean, we can place one and see.
Give him this spring right here. Get him.
Don't they get all the springs?
I think
Yeah,
they
they
should all
do.
those
But I'm saying,
I
like,
do like it.
all right, honestly, if you want my opinion, I think they need to have something. I think their village, like their spring, needs to be located around. Like, let's say, like this is the well for like their whole village, and then like the whole thing placed. Not the whole thing, but like let's say you pick one spring. This would be
So like we're still talking about water, and the whole time I'm muted. I can't even like participate in this discussion or this meeting. And I'm boiling mad at this point because I didn't come to just get announcements. I came to participate as a possible tribe member to learn the rules and find out if, we needed to have a discussion, if we needed to negotiate. This was supposed to be a time that we could all meet and talk openly without, fear of being silenced, like this was our time. But that's not how our time was used. This time was used instead to push plans that the government wanted to talk about. And if anybody wanted to talk after, during question time, if it wasn't an agreement, they got pushed into go discuss it in a ticket or we'll answer that later. But, we're pressed on time. We don't got enough time. But we're still here talking about fucking water.
the center of their town. And then around the spring would be the whole tribe. Get what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you like that idea.
It's almost like a little fort, like little walls. And...
Yeah, because
like, do you
see,
see all the native items that like I can use to build your camp? Like I'm
Yeah,
looking
there's
at
so
them on
much.
my stream right now. Like look at all like see there's the
let
tent,
me tune in real quick.
and then this is like a backrest. These are the native like weapons. Like
Do
I
we
put,
have
like,
all these
some.
scripts, or are they being bought?
This isn't a script. This is just like
Oh.
spoony props that I use to create.
Okay.
Like I could put a canoe.
Notice the tone difference. Everything's calm. Everything's relaxed. We've got way more time. Nothing's being rushed. Totally different atmosphere from how we started.
Just put them in right now.
I can
Wow,
build like
okay.
I built the layout, the island.
Here, I'll show them. Look at my screen. This is completely custom built by Barbie. Got a road.
Are you going to the island off of Rhodes? If so, I know exactly what you're talking
The
about.
island off of Rhodes was built by Barbie. Also,
Yeah,
this
that
is
was
not
magnificent.
this is not a blacksmith. There was nothing here. It looked just
It
as
looks
shit
just
as
like
like
that.
this. Just that. Barbie
Dude.
built the whole blacksmith.
Okay, well, that's actually sick.
Yeah.
And then
so
obviously,
like every
the
prop
island.
from
Yeah,
the
and
game.
then over here, a little bit to the left.
Yeah, like the I custom
That's
built.
so beautiful. Oh
Yeah,
my God.
that's their fenced in what's it called? They're fenced in
Yeah, farming. Is
areas.
it?
Like your
Yeah.
tent. That's I think your tent should be in. We just have to give it to you, Bob. But like your tent, like that's the same thing as that aspect. Like the bridge, which took me forever, which is my probably favorite creation. But like things like that is like it's like Sims. Literally, it's literally like Sims. Like I get
I
these
mean, for you,
props.
it's like Sims. I love
It
it.
literally is, and it's probably my favorite thing to do
Uh,
because it could just so like time consuming but relaxing. So I'm really excited to like build you guys a tribe.
God, that top of that mountain's so beautiful. I've been up
Can't
there.
wait to launch. Barbie, you got to be streaming building it.
Yeah, I'll.
That would be awesome.
No, I'm not meaning to. No,
I'm
I don't
still-
think it. Not,
I'm still muted this whole time, and I can't interject. I can't join with anybody, and I never did anything fucking wrong, so I'm pissed. And the reason why I was never able to stop being pissed was because this was how I was treated. And every time I try to bring this up for discussion, I'm told to go to a ticket. But the reason that I don't want to go to a ticket is because this isn't a subject that Barbie wants to discuss. So it's really pointless for me to go into a ticket to discuss something where people don't want to talk. So the only thing I can do is share exactly what happened. And beyond that, you know, the truth is what it is. I was never trying to win. I was never trying to beat anybody. I'm always fair to everybody. I try to give everybody the same respect that I would want to be given myself. But this is very clearly not how I would have treated people. This is not how I would have handled a discussion, a meeting about, you know, native tribe concerns and rules on joining where we're supposed to, you know, talk. But this wasn't like an environment where we could talk. So I don't know. This is just the way that I constantly get treated. This is the way that my tickets go. This is the way that my attempt to join the native tribe went. And it pissed me off so bad that after this meeting, I just told them flat out, you're creating rules that make it impossible for me to be a native. So at this point, you're just giving me an ultimatum that I either get rid of my other businesses or I give up on the idea of being a native. The rule that Barbie proposed where natives couldn't have gunsmiths, stables, or tobacco on their other set of boots because they're like gangs wasn't even in the rule book. It wasn't something that the owners had come up with. It was something that she wanted to propose, an idea to see how they felt about it. It wasn't a matter of whether or not the owners were going to be okay with me being in the tribe. It was more of a matter of she didn't want anybody that had a stables or a gunsmith to be in the tribe. She didn't want somebody with multiple businesses on another pair of boots to be in the tribe. And I get that. If the rules had applied to everybody, which they very clearly didn't. So me getting outed, me getting overly scrutinized, watching my friends get praised, watching me not get any support except from Bob, really floored me. And when I tried to talk to her about it directly, she told me to stop talking to her completely. So I gave up. And up until today, I hadn't really brought it up for discussion because I assumed that everybody had gotten kicked out of the tribe and that the tribe was no more. But I've started to see the tribe popping up more in county. I've started to see, shops opening up. I've started to see a roster of people that I was told, would have to change their other pair of boots and all the jobs that were on it in order to stay in the tribe. I've seen a lot of things that are opposite of what I was told when I was originally removed from the tribe. So I'm upset. I tried to talk it out, but there's no room for a discussion. There's no room for negotiation. There's no room for a polite conversation. No one wants to find out what actually happened, to find a mutual resolution where we are all correct. Instead, they're just leaving a cloud of misunderstanding, miscommunications, to create a conflict, and that conflict brews into a storm, and that storm becomes a war. And I'm not trying to have a war, but I'm also not trying to just, sit down and shut up and get told how things are going to be. That's not the type of person I am. Just because it's going to get me in trouble for, speaking my mind and trying to be a human being instead of an NPC, it's not going to stop me from how I actually feel. And if how I feel was a concern to anybody, they would have shown me more respect instead of just telling me to shut up and stop talking to them. They tried to be nice and friendly, and then I pointed out that this was still an issue, which resulted in the war coming back. But this never went away. For me, this has always been here. It's been 21 days, but it's still fresh on my mind, and it bothers me all the time. It's something that I've had other issues with over this tribe nonsense. There's other brutal picking points that I've pointed out that I'm not allowed to discuss, and it was all over a stupid improved bow that I thought should already be in the county. That's really all it bottoms out to. The fact that I saw a bow in county that wasn't supposed to be there, and then I got told that it had never been invented in the county, and I got told to sit down, shut up, and everything would be all right. But as things have played out, everything isn't all right. I was getting outed from the tribe. Rules were being enacted or being proposed that would make it impossible for me to be a tribe, and I was being overly scrutinized without any evidence to support the accusations. Nobody was fact-checking anything. They were just throwing out insults and trying to come up with rules that would make it very difficult. I don't know if that was on purpose, but it made it very difficult for me to want to continue to be tribe. And I guess that was the end game goal, because at the beginning of the discussion in the meeting, they said that, some of these rules might make y'all not want to be tribe anymore. But if you go over this whole freaking video and you listen to everything, you might find out what actually happened and why I'm upset. I don't know where this is going to go with the county. I hate it. But I'm not going to stay at war with somebody that's like literally the county to me. Barbie represents Bright Falls to me. That's my friend that just, for whatever reason, with this one particular instance of issues, I've discovered has a side that I don't like. And she's discovered that I have a side she doesn't like, because I don't drop issues. I try to resolve them later. If you don't want to talk about it now, just wait 21 days, because I'll bring it up again. Or we could just, talk it out at the time of the occurrence, be peaceful, be calm, be, civil. I don't like the threat of being removed from county just because I'm having problems that nobody wants to discuss, because it's not problems for them, it's problems for me. It's a me issue. So why support an issue that doesn't affect anyone except for me? I don't know. But anyway, that's it. That's basically the end of the meeting, and that's the truth.